I'm sure many of you guys are well aware of what took place in Venezuela with Maduro and his wife. And since then, Trump has now talked about Greenland. Okay, he's talking about, hey, we're going to take Greenland. All right, we're going to take it the easy way or the hard way.
But right now, we are going to do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not. We don't take Greenland, Russia or China will. And I'm not letting that happen. If we don't take Greenland, Russia or China will take Greenland. And I am not going to let that happen. They'll make an offer you, you know, like, oh, sure, I'm not make a deal with them. It's easier. But one way or the other, we're going to have Greenland.
That's how he's been talking about Greenland. People talk about, hey, we're going to invade Greenland. Oh, what about Mexico? What about Iran? All these things have been floating in the ether. And I'm like, all right, got you. Yeah, take Greenland, whatever you want to do, by all means, right? At this point in time, this man could say, we're gonna take the moon, okay? We're gonna tattoo USA on the moon, and it wouldn't faze me. Unfortunately, I don't think it would faze you because he said some outlandish stuff. So it's like, yeah, this makes sense. It's Trump. Unfortunately, don't get me wrong. Unfortunately, because we've been desensitized to his foolishness. But nevertheless, I hear this, I'm like, okay, yeah, take Greenland. Yeah, by all means. I know he's been talking about Canada as well, so I'm like, yeah, Greenland, sure.
Don't care, still don't care. I don't care.
Then I come to find out what he's offering Greenland, okay? Because what has crossed my thread, all right, it's been even reported on Fox News, that he's offering up to $100K to the 54,000 residents of Greenland. What? To I guess, sweeten the deal for them to come to the U.S., to be a part of the U.S. Now, we have to take a moment of silence, all right? Just a quick little pause, because from my understanding, what have they been saying this entire time? The debt. Have they not been talking about that? Well, Lucas, the debt. This is, oh my God, do you not see how big the debt is? The Democrats blew up the deficit, all right? We're trying to control the deficit. We're trying to get it under order. We're trying to get our finances under order. That's why we had Doge, okay? That's why we had Doge, because we're trying to contain the deficit, okay? We're trying to pay down our debt. That's what they've been telling us this entire time, is it not?
Congregation, I said, can I get an amen?
This is the reason why when it comes to healthcare, they were talking about Social Security. Were they not? They were talking about, hey, all these social programs, they're just costing the American people just too much money. We've got to start removing some of them. We've got to get rid of the fraud. We've got to get rid of the abuse. All of this, when it comes to education, there's just too much abuse. We just don't have the money, okay? We don't have the money to give children free school meals, all right? That's not our responsibility. Is this not what they've been telling us, y'all? Is this not? When it comes to, as far as minimum wage, when it comes to raising the wages for the American workers, to be in competition with inflation and the foolishness that's going on right now with the feds and everything, okay? What do they say? Well, no, we can't do that. You want to raise it to $100? Why not just raise minimum wage to $200? Why not then? Right? They give you these bull crap reasons why they can't help Americans.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
But let Netanyahu say, listen, I need a few billion for missile defense. Now, don't get me wrong, we're gonna help you guys, okay? You give us missiles, we give you whatever we give you, all right? They say it's intel. We give you intel. Is that not? Without a doubt, without a moment hesitation, cash a check. They write, what is going on? Huh? What is going on? They honestly treat us like hoes, bro. So what?
Hello, this is welcome to We-On-Loc Nation. Loc Nation here. If it ain't coming from me, it's coming from somebody else. And I've been trying to tell you this for quite a long time now. For weeks and weeks, I've been trying to tell you, you're not going to get from Donald Trump what you think you're going to get. Probably the next president, maybe not, but you're not going to get it from him. If he's willing to offer Greenland, the people of Greenland, $100K just to become a part of the U.S., then what the fuck do you think he's going to do for you? What do you think he's going to do for the United States of America? Oh, I'm sorry. The blacks in the United States of America. Absolutely nothing. But yet, somehow we're conservatives. I, I just don't, I don't get it. Well, anyway, not only is he doing that, he's doing all this stuff in Greenland, and we're going to be. And if he said if they don't take it, we'll take it by force. I'm expecting to take it by force. You know what? I want us to get it going to World War III. You know why? Because maybe, just maybe, when it's all said and done, and people are suffering and losing their lives over, and it's not just them. It's going to be us too. Mark my words. Maybe this inflation will go down, and we can start all over. Maybe we can start all over. Maybe we start 50 cents a gallon. Maybe we can start there. Maybe with the price of food would go down. Maybe. Maybe we can. We don't have to worry. We won't have to worry about, housing markets going up. Maybe we don't have to. We don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about that at all. We are not at war, sweetheart. Well, maybe if you're referring to the referring to blacks versus whites in the United States, we're already where I can understand that. I get that. But if he drops one bomb, in Greenland, we are at war. Let him drop one bomb on Greenland. You cannot listen to what I say. I don't give a damn. He dropped one bomb in Greenland. We are going to war. And there are a lot of countries who are sick and tired of Trump. Mark my words. There's a lot of countries that are getting sick and tired of Trump. I'm getting sick and tired of Trump. And there's a lot of people here in America who are getting sick and tired of Trump and say, we won't even bother going into work. We're not going to go into work until he is gone, until he is out of office. That's going to take a lot of, this is, I appreciate that, but this is not the bus boycott. This is not the bus boycott. And I don't want people losing their jobs over this dictator. People need to go into work, and you need to feed your families. But I'm telling you straight up. But that's not what I went live for. This is not why I'm going live. I do want to give an apology. I do want to get an apology to white people. I was being harsh, possibly non-understanding, but I get it. I truly get that if I and others, because it wasn't just me, it was other people, but it's my channel, and so I have to give some type of accountability. I truly want to apologize to white folks for being black. I do want to apologize for being black in this so-called country that denies blacks of damn near everything. Civil rights being one of them. Yeah, civil rights being one of those. Marching for freedom, marching for justice, peace, shit like that. Marching to put food on our tables. Uh, you know, I had to apologize for going in the back way of a restaurant to getting a bite to eat. I want to apologize for uh going in the back of the bus and sitting in the back of the bus while the whites sit in the back of the bus. I want to apologize for marching for our not just our civil rights, but our human rights here in the US. What am I talking about? Donald Trump and his orange ass. I think he said this yesterday in the New York Times and said that civil rights is reverse racism. Civil rights is reverse racism? Oh, I knew this was coming. We foreseen this years ago. When his first term, we seen this years ago. I said, do not let him back in that White House. He's impeached. Do not let him back in that White House, because as soon as he goes back, he's going to start plotting revenge, not just on America, but for the entire world. Lo and behold, I was right. I was fucking right. So he goes on to say, and I'm paraphrasing, that civil rights basically harmed a lot of people. It harmed, a lot of whites from back then. Are you talking about those whites that were hanging black people on a whim? Are you talking about those? I mean, I do tell. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about the whites who were sicking dogs on us? Are you talking about the ones that were sending police officers to beat us up every day? I mean, I don't. The Ku Klux Klan, the skinheads. I mean, I can name it all. Are we talking about those ones? Trump has really lost his damn mind. And that's why I think the civil rights movement has been defunded. There is no Black History museums anymore. There is no Black History Month anymore. I almost forgot. But you let this bitch in the White House. Shame on you. I mean, if you don't believe, and just in case somebody earlier said receipts, 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 I was like, I mean, I got a receipt. I mean, I just thought I'd just tell you outright that no, dang it. I thought I'd just give you a heads up. Let's tell you that I'm not lying. That he's telling the truth, because most of you don't even read the New York Times any damn way. Yeah, it says here. Wait, what? Donald Trump says that the Civil Rights Act caused white people to be treated badly. Quote, it hurt a lot of people. It was reverse discrimination. Reverse discrimination just to be oh my God. Okay. All right. And he's taking Greenland. He wants the white folks in Greenland, because I don't know any Black folks in Greenland. I don't know anything about Greenland. Is a European country. He wants the white people in Greenland to become a part of the US. And if not, then bombs away. I would agree with you there, but I would say fuck you to the other comment that you just put, because it is about race. Because white folks have been saying for years, they're taking over the country. It doesn't matter if it was black folks, if it was Hispanic folks, or Asians coming from different countries, coming from China, coming from Japan, coming from Tokyo. It doesn't matter where they came from. It always had a little rough mouth about this and that and this and the third. Is like they've been taking our jobs, that we don't have room for this country, and they're always on welfare, blah 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 blah. You remember those talks? Some of y'all are fucking disgusting, but let me not rumble too much, because y'all want receipts. Y'all want fucking receipts. Let's see. I don't want to Jesse Lee Peterson. I don't give a fuck about no goddamn Jesse Lee Peterson. Jesse Lee Peterson is a stupid moron. You know that's a word not used in a long time. That's a threatening word, sir. Moron?
You living good. You all right? No, I'm living good. You know, so thank God, back in the day during the civil rights movement, thank God that I never had to ruin some white person's day by participating in some stupid ass civil rights march. So since I didn't have to do that, I want to apologize on the behalf of my parents and grandparents out there who caused y'all all that trouble.
I think some reparations are due for these whites.
Thank you. You get it, man.
Reparations is due?
What about that pain? Listen, I'm being honest, man. I feel really terrible that my parents and my grandparents had to bug y'all about getting rid of segregation so they could have the right to vote, so that they could have the right to equal.
Yeah, I just want to add into that. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm not in the office. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm sorry for getting my ass kicked. I'm sorry for getting my ass kicked for so long by these white folks. I'm so sorry. Since civil rights was threatening y'all, was taking y'all aback, taking y'all the back seat. I am so sorry. So sorry. I'm sorry I even was promoting and campaigning for Jasmine Crockett to become U.S. Senate. I'm sorry I even said it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, master. I'm so sorry that I even spoke the word. Ooh. Am I talking out of turn, sir? I'm sorry if I captured the English language. I am the soul thesaurus. Oh my God. I'm in. Hold up. I'm the thesaurus that I even got this house that me and my wife is.
During Jim Crow. You know, something that white men never had to ask for.
I'm sorry. This black is speaking out of turn. This black is speaking out of turn. I am so sorry. I am so sorry that me and my wife moves into this wonderful house that we is living in. I am so sorry as a white man. I am, oh my gosh. I'm so sorry that we have foods in the refrigerators. This is our refrigerators right here. I am the so sorry. I am so, in this wonderful couch that we are sitting in. Lord's hams mercies. Lord's ham mercies, Jesus. I am so sorry. We live in a communities full of Asians and Samoans, couple of white folks, and black folks. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry that I open up this here door and, freedom. Freedom at last. Hello, neighbor. How are you? I'm sorry. I'm sorry as I even spoke to you. I'm so sorry. White folks, I'm so sorry that civil rights has done you dirty. I am so sorry. Listen, there's a reason why back in those days they had what's called a muzzle for your mouth. They pierced it in your mouth to keep you from talking. And guess what? They also put what was called jingle bells for those who like to celebrate Christmas. The meaning of jingle bells was to put one of them collars around your necks, and whenever you try to escape, jing-a-ling-a-ling, jing-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. I'm so sorry, white people. I'm so sorry that I have to fight for my freedom. Will you ever forgive me?
Epstein's Manhattan townhouse. And these are important details. It was a 21,000 square foot home, decorated as the New York Times describes in Epstein's eccentric style. There was a sculpture of a woman in a bridal dress clinging to a rope suspended from his.
You let a predatory rapist into the White House, and you expect me to say what? You let a manipulator into the White House. As I stated before, one bomb goes off in Greenland. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't Greenland NATO? Just saying. And this is bad for black people. It's especially bad for, it's going to be especially bad for ADOS, because I don't even know what they're asking for. They're not going to give you, he's not going to give you reparations. Not even your representative. Your representative is some guy from Britain, and he is not going to give you reparations, even in form of money or in land. The land is pretty much taken at this point, unless you plan on shedding some, a little drop of blood here and there, which most of you Negroes are so scared because you're so scared. You're so scared, but you wouldn't mind. You would rather negotiate. You would rather negotiate than to arm yourselves, not only just for yourself, but for your family, your loved ones, and for your communities. I do know this: when the November comes, y'all better start voting, because already a lot of people are upset at Trump. A lot of people from America on down and in other countries are very upset at Trump. And for the right reasons. And for the right fucking reasons. I'm not telling you this personally just to upset y'all. It is what it is. It's reality. If one of those bombs hits, we're in fucking trouble. And I know we got the biggest, baddest military force in the country, but think about it. Greenland's forces, you got Iran trying to compete to get Greenland. You have China trying to compete to get Greenland. Donald Trump just said it. He just said it. I don't want Iran or fucking China to get Greenland. We're going to get fucking Greenland. Israel's pretty strong. We'll see. We will see. Let one bomb go off. Let's see who's strong then. Let's see who's strong. Let's see who's powerful. Let's see. China is a little bit deeper in the tooth. Plus, they have technology, and I'm not saying that we don't. But who did we learn technology? Who did white folks learn technology from? I'm just gonna let you guess that one. Y'all don't see it as dangerous. Some of us do see how dangerous it is. Dangerous. We are living in a third world country, as Jesse said. And I believe him. And I didn't even read up on Germany yet, but I know I'm going to read on some juicy stuff what happened in Germany back then. I wish Lisa was here. You know what, Lisa, if you weren't so, well, I don't want to say the words. It's kind of personal, but if you weren't busy, I'll just say that. If you weren't so busy, I was doing just fine playing video games. I was playing Fortnite and Street Fighter. I was doing just fine until she put me up on game on politics and letting me hear the things that a person like myself and others should not be hearing around this time. Even the people from Minnesota, mind you, sidebar, even the people from Minnesota, when the game was going on, the basketball, the Minnesota Timberwolves, they didn't even want to play that day. They did not want to play because of all this shit's going on. Trump has reduced himself to a goddamn 12-year-old. And people do not give a shit. People don't care. And what's disturbing? What's disturbing me? What is disturbing is some of you don't even care. Not all of you, but some of you people don't even give a shit because you come on. Most of you white folks and some of you black conservatives, which I still don't get why you're a fucking. What a black people. Let me talk to y'all for a second. Black people. What the fuck is it you think you're looking for? What is it you think you're going to achieve by rolling with uh, a traitorous, rapist, misogynistic son of a bitch in Donald Trump? What do you think you're going to get from him? What do you think you're going to get? Have you not learned the lessons from Omarosa? Have we not learned those lessons? Have you not learned the lessons from his attorney? I don't know what you're expecting. You're expecting a seat at the table. You're expecting $5,000, $2,000. Which, by the way, if you go to one of my shorts, there's this TikTok video that I just had to copy and paste. I had to because I said it verbatim. And he doesn't even remember. Trump doesn't even remember him saying that he was going to take $2,000 and give it to us. The family, the hardworking family, family people. So who should pay for reparations? Ain't nobody gonna pay for reparations. There is no one who is representing us as a nation going to pay for it. Even some clown out there who's selling his book or whoever the fuck he is. I don't know. I think somebody real should come to this guy and say, please shut the fuck up with this shit because you're not going to get what Donald Trump or anybody from the left or from the right is going to give you anything. You think, put a 1 in the chat if you think, put a 1 or 2 in the chat if you think, if he, 3 years from now, if he's voted in for president of the United States, I was going to say Mitt Romney, the dude from California, Gavin Newsom. If you think Gavin Newsom is going to provide you reparations, put a 1 in the chat. And be honest, people. Be honest. Do you think that this guy, Gavin Newsom, is going to give you reparations? I'll even sweeten the pot for you. Do you think J.D. Vance is going to give you reparations? Come on, bro. Come on. If Byron Donalds or Dawkins or Donalds, who has a Jamaican wife, and it really doesn't, what the fuck does it mean to have I don't care if he has a Jamaican mother or not. I don't give a fuck if he has a Jamaican mother. But if he's against reparations, what makes you think that anybody from the left or from the right is going to give black folks in this country reparations? Please. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. We don't need reparations, hard work. That is what. You know what? I would agree to that. Just one problem. We don't like, and I do like that comment. Let me read that comment again. This is from Goodnight Munchies. We don't need reparations, hard work. That's how winning is done. Good comment, bad timing. You know why? well, it's not bad timing. It's just, I don't know what to call it, but check this out, bro. Do we, as black folks, I'm not talking about anybody else, do we support one another? Do we come together and support one another as black people? Do we support what we put out there as far as product? As far as product. As far as everything else. You got mom and pop stores that don't even get respect. But they have no problems when white folks and Asian folks come in and start buying their stuff. We have a brother in Ramomar, New York, who had the same exact clothing as Sean Johns, which were made by white people, and Tommy Hilfiger. All of it costly, but guess what? It was representing you. RBGs don't even get any respect. I wonder in my lifetime if we are ever going to even tell the truth. But then you got FBAs all over the place saying that we're growing strong. They finally recognize us. We're no longer being ignored. Yes, you are. But what? Just because Tucker Carlson screamed your name means anything? Who the fuck is Tucker Carlson? Now, if Bill O'Reilly screamed your name, that's one thing. If Bill O'Reilly screamed your name, I bet it's one thing. If Donald Trump screamed your name, that is a bonus. Tucker Carlson, please, try again. There are nations beyond nations who do not want you to be successful. Hell, they want you gone.
That's little stuff right there.
Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that. That's
Don't you worry about
just
that.
nitpicking at this point.
Listen, man, you're going off topic. Let's go.
I'm sorry. Let me stay on topic, man. Thank you, Oz. Thank you. You see? You see why I'm apologizing. I'm just being a dick right at this moment. I also want to apologize for my parents and my grandparents asking for bloodthirsty, barbaric lynch mobs to not hang, mutilate them, or burn them alive. Again, something that white man didn't have to fear, but that's small talk right there. That doesn't matter. Again, I'm nitpicking. Something that happened so much, by the way, that there had to be a publication, the Green Book, to tell black people how to navigate through the country, mainly the South, so that they could go to spaces and places and towns that were not hostile to them, that would not get them killed. You know, I'm sorry that they had to ask for that, because when you think about it, Charlie Kirk was right. We really were better off doing those segregation. Oh, Jimmy Crow, man.
Jay Crizzy.
Oh, Jimmy Crow. You know what? Oh, Jimmy was good, man. I don't appreciate it. We really don't. I'm sure if my parents and grandparents weren't so selfish, they would have been more considerate of all you white people out there who feel this way, and they wouldn't have bothered people. But no, they were assholes, man. You know, bothering people with these minor inconveniences that we were going through. Oh, yeah. So what? I mean, as we see today, voting's overrated. Who votes today, right? I mean, people when I think
that anymore.
Yeah, that's stupid. People when I think of their ass whoop for nothing. Who votes today? I mean, shit. I hate voting. Voting's not fun. Stupid.
Well, at least they got that white sparkly out of it. Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino.
He'll give us the right to say the N-word. And why can't they have that? That's another thing. Why we not like? You know, we're just selfish. Hold on to that end. I feel like an asshole bringing this up, man. Because sometimes I bring up how, black people, they receive prison sentences that are on average probably more than 30% longer than people that commit the same crimes.
Mm-hmm.
But we just do it better. We do our crimes better because
we do crimes better.
Yeah, that's why we get those extra sentences, man. We just do crimes better.
Our crime goes above and beyond.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Damn, I do crowd good.
Yeah, well, I am sorry. I am so sorry. I am so sorry that your communities are all fucked up. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry that we fucked them up. I'm sorry. Maybe we're just so sick of each other. Maybe we need what I preached a long time ago, separation. But what good will it do? What good will it do? By the time China takes over the US, which is going to be so many years from now, where will we be? Where the fuck will we be? Let's see. I don't know. Let's read some of your comments here. I'm a 68-year-old man, black man, and it's so peaceful. Where? For now, I can't hear the smoke. Shut up. Making fun of my damn smoke detector. 30-year-old black man that's lived in both Iowa and Virginia. Why would anybody live in Idaho? Why would anybody live in Idaho? Anyway, whatever. And I've never experienced a true division until I was around actual black communities. I was always treated as an outsider. I guess I know why. But hey, maybe I don't know. I can't judge. I cannot judge. Hey Tanya. It would do no good because that's the same thing as segregation. True. So what it is, do you think we should just treat it like the Matrix and just grab like 7 black females with big asses and big titties? I'm just playing. 7 females to 5 males, and just start anew. And instead going to a world that is just isolated, we can just go to an island and just start fresh. That would never work. So my suggestion would be start fixing things. Show your house first before you start going into somebody else's house. Show you how clean and disciplined your house is first. That's what I would say. And obviously, people don't have a problem with what Trump is saying because it's like we already knew it was going to be reverse racism, but how he put it, it was just like, oh my God, like I can say whatever the fuck I want to say and just get away with it. Because you've been, like I said, white folks been saying for years that, our country is in ruins. There used to be 85% of whites in this country and 11% of blacks versus 4% of Hispanics. And look at us now. We're in a foreign country, in a foreign land. We need to get these foreigners the fuck out of here. I've lived with foreigners all my life, and I've never had a problem with none of them, whether they come from Africa, Jamaica, Haiti, mostly Haiti, because mostly Haiti folks come over here. I never had a problem with them. Never had a problem. I would consider those brothers and sisters good friends. We've ate together. We laughed, we joked, we cried together. We fought side by side together. I ain't had no problem with them. I even took their kids to school. I mean, never had a problem with them. Is you have a problem with the 1%? I'll give it this, 2%. 2% of people who actually come in this country and act just because they got a little bit of money in their pocket. Like, you Americans are lazy. I don't listen to I don't listen to the 1%ers. I don't. Y'all do. you got some guy over the internet saying that we don't have black culture, and all of a sudden FBAs get upset. I'm like, you can get upset all you want. It's not that we don't have black culture, is we don't control it. It's not that we don't have black culture, because we do have black culture. The problem is we don't own and control it. What are some things that we own and control systematically? I'll wait. Ignorance amongst who? Ignorance amongst who? A group? A person? We can't be worried about individuals. We can't worry about individualism. Who is it ignorant by? Because when you say ignorance is the problem, who is ignorant? A person. A person can say whatever they want, and we can say that that singular person is ignorant all day, but that's still individualism. What group is ignorant? Okay, what culture? What culture is ignorant? We can say all day, every day that, let's say, white people are ignorant. We've already proven and established that. But there are some groups that came in afterwards and possibly put a monkey wrench on what we need to do as black people. Or that we just do this ourselves due to the crack epidemic, the welfare epidemic, we got all this history, and we still don't know who to blame it on. So again, who do you think is ignorant? And I'm thinking specifically on a nationality level. I'm thinking on a nationality level. Uh, I can't say it's half. This is what I would say to that comment. Yes, we are somewhat responsible for the drugs and the homelessness to a certain degree. Because yes, there were drugs that were being used and were being sold even to kids, single mothers, homelessness, because when you use up the drugs, you're trying to, and you have money, you're using that money to buy drugs. Gambling debts, gambling debts, problems all over the United States of America, or certain places in the United States of America. But the other thing is, the primary thing is, who put those drugs in our communities? We had no boats, no ships. If you all understand, and if you ever watched Boys in the Hood, you will understand that gentrification meant everything. Gentrification only meant that there are certain people in the power that didn't want you there. Because even though they put drugs in the hood, drugs where they stayed, apparently they had a problem. They had a problem with you having different color skin. Of course, they never got high off their own supply. So what did they do? They put white folks that put drugs in your hood. All right. Put the proper value up. Say, get these motherfuckers out of there. Tore your shit down and rebuild those communities up and put a high price range on those community houses. And left the rest of y'all homeless. Now, now you're going to another demographic. You're talking about the young cats were responsible for selling the drugs or whatnot. True. But what I want to ask you, other than selling drugs, what other programs did they have non drug related? What other programs did these young cats, and I'm assuming black people, were you talking about? Because remember, all those particular programs, when you were in school, when you were in junior high, they had those particular programs back then. But then all of a sudden, Tricky Dick coming up in there and say, we need the money, so we're going to just cut these programs straight out the gate. Just like they're doing the HBCUs, and they're cutting the funding from FBCUs. Deion Sanders was one of the ones that had the money that could have took one of the FBCUs, and I forgot who it was, to the next level, and could have brung in superstars to fund one of your FBCUs, and look what happened. He ended up going to Colorado. Colorado, out of all people, out of all places. I still don't understand that shit. I don't understand that shit. Well, to me, when it comes to black people, drugs are not supposed to be in our vocabulary. Prescription drugs, maybe. Drugs that come up off the street, no. But what is the one drug? What is the one drug, since it's not all about race? What specific drug is what everybody uses? And there's one that everybody does every single day. We all know what it is. So we all know what the fuck it is. What specific drug that we go ahead and smoke every single day? Weed, right? Weed is a specific drug. Weed is planted, weed is grown, and is used for specific purposes. But we use it to get high, right? Everybody does that. White, black, indifferent. There are very few Asians that I know that smoke weed. Very few. It doesn't do anything. All it does is just get you high. And it slows certain parts of your anatomy down. And if you want any kids, I think, well, that's that. So I think, all in a nutshell, all these horizontal issues, and they're nothing but horizontal issues at the end of the day, they need to get fixed, but there's only one way to do it, and is that you find someone in your neighborhoods, or if you know somebody in Congress, your legislator, your mayor, your governor, somebody you know and respect, to help you, and you go to that person and you say, we're sick and tired of being sick and tired. We are sick and tired of being sick and tired of getting rambasted and ran over by these certain elements that keep coming into our communities. Start there. You might end up somewhere. But then again, you might have to pay you may or may not have to pay that person a little bit of money to activate your interests. Some will take money, some won't. Some from the NAACP, I know some people from the NAACP will probably help you with your problems, but you gotta do the work. You gotta be involved in some of these things. I don't know. Maybe your mayor, if he or she might help your communities out. I don't know. Jasmine Crockett. Who's gonna? I know that the Hispanics, they're the ones that go to Jasmine Crockett for community reasons. They're the ones that go to Jasmine Crockett for concerns about immigration reform and how they're being treated and so on and so forth by this administration. They're the ones that come after her. What do black people in Texas go to her for? That's a big question mark. Do we want to win, or do we want to lose? And this Trump administration isn't giving you much. This Trump administration isn't giving you not a damn thing. We need to start thinking, people, what we want. And if you're fine being where you're at, then this isn't for you. This is not for you. If you're fine being where you're at, you make six, 7 figures or whatever, and blah blah blah. You don't need the help. And black people need to lace up their boots so nice and go to work and not collect welfare, which most people need welfare now. Most people need welfare now because of all the jobs are being taken. Of all the people who have gotten fired from their jobs for absolutely no fucking reason. They're the ones that are going to need welfare. They're the ones that are going to need it. There needs to be a reset. And this person here that says civil rights is reverse racism, basically, he had it on his mind the entire time. You forget this is the same person that didn't want to sell to black and brown people back then. But all the Martin Luther King Seniors and the Kanye Wests and the Wheezys of the world, they shake Trump's hand and think that they're going to get something out the deal. They may, but you ain't. And treating women like shit. But then again, black men treat black women like shit. Oh, let me be fair. Black women treat black men like shit. Now, I don't even want to get into that conversation. Y'all be wasting StreamYard. Y'all be wasting StreamYard's time with all them goofy ass conversations. He don't do nothing for me. I heard some bullshit last night that made me throw up. That man does everything for me. But on my birthday, he was with 2 different women. I'm like, huh? I love him and he loved me, but he want 2 different women. I know what he want. Lady, if you don't sit your ass down somewhere, we got a problem. We have a real big problem. Oh, well. Ain't my problem. Marketing 6 digits doesn't include you from wanting legislation or bill writing. Agreed, I just looked up. There are 7.17 billion jobs available. What city and what state are you talking about? It depends on what city and state that you're in. Stop looking up Google for the bullshit that you're trying to look up. Google is not your friend. Everybody just seems to just Google shit instead of picking up a fucking book and reading, or picking up the New York Times, or picking up a newspaper, picking up a journal. What the fuck? Are those 7.1 or 7.7 jobs for you? You as a black man? Are they for you? Or they're just the ones that's like, look, we'll give you a job as, housekeeping, doing janitor work. No, not necessarily being a plumber, not necessarily being necessarily being a plumber, an architect, a electrician or anything like that that'll actually get you up to the next level. No. You're good for those low paying jobs. Because remember, you're still getting paid $7.50 an hour. That is the minimum wage. And Jasmine Crockett did mention that if she was in the Senate office, she was going to raise that son bitch up to $15 an hour. But that's in Texas. I don't know what the fuck is going on here in Nevada. I really don't know. You just taking Google as face value. Boom. Who owns Google? Who owns Google? Jeff Bezos. And is Jeff Bezos a white man? Jeff Bezos. Isn't the same man that owns YouTube? Oh, God. All right. Okay. I guess I'm in the wrong. I guess I am in the wrong. Breaking news. Look at this. Look at this shit.
See the headline here from the New York Times. Trump officials are sending 1,000 more immigration officers to Minnesota. The Customs and Border Protection officers are joining 2,000 other officers and agents at the Department of Homeland Security who have recently been deployed to the Minneapolis region. CNN said 2 federal law enforcement sources told them that 1,000 additional U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents are expected to deploy to Minneapolis. This is tensions between federal law enforcement and local counterparts flare up. This is after an ICE-involved shooting last week that left a mother of 3 dead. CNN also talked to U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar yesterday.
They literally are sending over 3,000 ICE agents into one state. There are like 600 sworn in officers in Minneapolis and 550 or so in St. Paul. So the ICE agents are literally overwhelming our own police force. This is not LA, this is not Chicago. And Minnesota is right now the center of America's heartbreak.
As these agents come in, though, local leaders are trying to stop the ICE activity altogether.
Minnesota's Attorney General and the mayors of Minneapolis and St. Paul filed a federal lawsuit yesterday to try to get ICE activity halted throughout the state. In the complaint, the group lays out dozens of examples of what they say are the physical and financial toll of immigration enforcement on the state. One of the examples they point to in the lawsuit is an incident last week at the Target in Richfield. The suit claims agents forced a man into a DHS vehicle after saying he was a citizen. On social media yesterday, DHS said the man was arrested for assaulting federal law enforcement officers. Attorney General...
Wait a minute. Are they taking people out of their jobs? Wow. They're taking people out of the places where they get paid to eat. They feeding their families and they dragging them out of the workplace. Wow. I thought I even saw an incident where a brother was dragged into that same truck. And it's not about race? Oh, I guess you're an illegal immigrant too. Are you a brother, right? That was not an illegal immigrant. That was not an illegal immigrant. How do you know that's a fucking... How would the fuck would you know that was a legal immigrant or not? And what did they ever do to you? That's what I don't get. I don't get the people in this country, man.
Keith Ellison also says the increase in federal law enforcement in Minnesota is negatively impacting schools, businesses, and local police departments.
Law enforcement agencies should be focused on our public safety, but instead, many are dealing with the aftermath of DHS agents' chaos and violence.
However, a spokesperson for the Department of Homeland Security says in part, quote, "This is a baseless lawsuit and we look forward to proving that in court." The acting director of Immigration and Custom Enforcement is also pushing back on the
Look
claims
like
that serving in
rednecks.
federal agents is due to political differences.
ICE and DHS is in all 50 states and territories and 50 locations around the world. So we've always been there. We've been doing immigration enforcement for decades.
Minnesota is also making an effort to investigate the shooting death of Renee Good, despite being barred from the FBI's case. State BCA agents were working near the scene of the shooting yesterday morning. Last week, the Hennepin County Attorney's Office created a portal to collect video and any other evidence from the public. County Attorney says that her office has received a substantial amount of material so far. Governor Tim Walz and First Lady Gwen Walz visited that growing memorial in South Minneapolis, where the ICE agent shot Good last week. Hundreds have been visiting the site over the past week to pay their respects and express their feelings about what happened. But we also saw some tense moments out there. It's just a few blocks from the memorial. This video showing protesters and federal agents at an intersection yesterday. The protesters were blowing whistles and chanting the word shame before the agents deployed tear gas. The 37-year-old leaves behind 3 children and her wife, who was next to her SUV the day she was shot. Good's ex-husband told us she had just dropped their 6-year-old at school before this encounter with ICE agents. Homeland Security said Good had previous encounters with the agents and committed a, quote, act of domestic terrorism by using her vehicle as a weapon. Democratic leaders have condemned the shooting and have urged the federal government to allow the state to have access to evidence in their investigation. And new this morning, CBS News has learned that several career prosecutors in the U.S. Justice Department Civil Rights Division have resigned shortly after learning that there would be no civil rights probe into the fatal shooting of Renee Good. Source tells CBS News at least 6 prosecutors, most of whom are supervisors in the Civil Rights Division criminal section, will be.
And if any of one of y'all get dragged out of your house, for those who were screaming, yeah, illegal immigration came into the country illegally, I hope that if they drag your motherfucking ass out of that, don't come on this here platform and start complaining. Don't start complaining. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to laugh. I want you to laugh. I want you to laugh. I want you to just say, ha ha. that I don't wish that upon, man. I wish I would have never said anything. Ha 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 ha. I just want you to laugh your ass off. Because what you do know, what you put out in the universe comes back to you tenfold. You do know that, right? It's called spirit, or what Chinese call it, qi. Chiku. Just laugh. I want you to just laugh, because these people who come in, even if they come in illegally, have you heard of the 14th Amendment? We have heard of the 14th Amendment, right? I guess that don't count either. They do have a right to due process. You do know that too, right? And they also have the right to a representative. Spirit of truth, you don't know the truth. None of you do, because none of you want the truth. People in their own, respectfully, people in their own right believe that they think they know what the truth is, but quite frankly, they don't. Only God does, but you want to claim yourselves as God. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. And again, what have illegals done nothing but come into this country, see their loved ones, live with their loved ones, and try to get legal representation. You can't get health care federally. You can't do it. They're not going to allow you to do it unless you work your 6 months to a year, get legal representation. Normally they get paid under the table anyway. They can't collect federal dollars. So what is it that they do? They work their asses off, get that green card, get that piece of paper saying they are now legal in this country, and then they mind their own fucking business. And the next thing you know, they get dragged out of a work facility. Wow. 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 And you know what? And I will say this in relations to that, FBA is basically saying the same thing. And you know what I say to that? None of you people are any different from the Ku Klux Klan. Sorry. None of you are any different from the Ku Klux Klan. Just like the Ku Klux Klan hate black people, the FBA's hate black people. The type of black people that speak different languages, who look like you, have the same facial features as you, but they just speak a different language. Ain't no different. But yeah, we want to get together. We want to get together and have a kumbaya, please. Please. Yeah. All I'm saying is, if that bomb goes off in Greenland, we're going to see how much of a get together we going to have. Remember, I remember 9/11. I remember 9/11, dude. I remember 9/11. We was like, man, it was like, we going to fight together to get these Arabs out of here. We're going to fight together to get these Arabs out of here. Yeah, you with me, dude? Yeah, goddamn it, now I'll hunts, boy. I seen them coming. We're gonna get these goddamn people with these goddamn turbans out of here. With the goddamn dot on their forehead. We're getting them the fuck up out of here. He's like, I see you, cuz. I see you, cuz. When all that shit is over, oh, you ain't nothing but a nigger. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, boy. Oh, you finally revealed who you are, huh? I'm white. My girlfriend is black. Interracial relationships, I don't do. Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. That's how we got in trouble. That's how we got in trouble in the fucking first place. What did Claude Anderson say? Social immigration. That's how we got in trouble in the first place. This social immigration shit. Social immigration. Look where we are now. Because we have too many people infiltrating. Jesus. Where do we go from here? And by the way, you said you were a Frenchman, right? Black and French. How are they doing over there? I'm sick and tired of it, if you ask. I'm sick and tired if you ask me. Ice, baby. Yeah, you can talk that shit in Philly, because even police officers can police officers there thinking about going toe to toe with ICE. Well, how come that didn't happen? I like shit like that because some of those police officers over there are getting tired of ICE. And then I said this: people overlook, and they say it's not black and white, but people overlook this. What if it was your grandmother, right, that was in that seat when that federal agent shot Mrs. Good in the head? What if that was your mother? What if that was your sister? What if that was your what if that was your grandmother? How much hell would you raise? You're getting tired of illegal immigrants. Why don't you say that you're prejudiced and just call it that? We're gonna call it the truth. We're gonna call it We-On-Loc Truth Nation, because we're gonna tell the truth in this son of a bitch. Why can't you just come out, say you're prejudiced, and get over with? Say you agree with the Klansmen, you agree with the skinheads, you agree with the alt-right, you agree with Breitbart, you agree with Bill O'Reilly of all people. Just say that you are a prejudiced son of a bitch and just get it over with. Tell the truth. Tell the people the truth. You want to talk about truth? Tell the people the fucking truth. Tell them the truth. I'm sick and tired of whites lying to me. Tell the truth. Tell the honest to God truth. And now we're talking horizontal issues. Let's just say, and I know, it's Biden's fault. I know. I didn't vote for the son of a bitch either. I didn't vote for Biden, and I damn sure didn't vote for Trump. But this shit is ridiculous. The truth is my truth. It doesn't necessarily have to be the truth. Everyone has their own speculations about what it is and how it is in this country. It's called your truth, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the truth. I just go by the eye test. I don't go by statistics, although I still read them, and you judge for yourself. Yeah, but again, I'm sorry, white people. I'm so sorry for having peaceful protests and it getting dominated by extremists. I am so sorry. I am so... What? Hold on.
I know that every day when we all wake up and see the news cycle, it is so disorienting and feels so abusive. And it's important to point out exactly what this regime is up to. Everything going on in Minnesota is about abusing the general public. It is about scaring us to death and getting us accustomed and acclimated to a police state. If these guys were serious about immigration, they would not be in Minnesota. There's two reasons why they like being up there. Number one, they cannot stand 10 walls. Number two, they cannot stand Ilhan Omar, the congresswoman from there, and they had a MAGA influencer that started a complete lie about Somali daycare centers, and that riles up all of the racist Republican base. And the most important thing that you're seeing right now, the regime is going to do this. We've always known they had Nazi intentions. The most important thing we're seeing is the percentage of Americans that are going along with this, that support this. And it's important that we keep playing the crimes committed by ICE agents. And I want to start with this first clip. This is an ICE agent who pulls out a legal observer, a US citizen, brutally breaks his window, pulls him out from the car, and puts a knee on his neck in the same place that George Floyd was murdered by a cop. Play the clip.
This is who you represent, huh? This is what you represent.
For those of you listening, not watching, it's just completely scenes that you should not see. This is a legal observer, and you have all of these pink arm, low T, a lot of them ill-equipped to do this job, very broken people that want to abuse other people. And Kristi Noem and Donald Trump and all of the MAGA Christians support this. That's what we need to absorb. There is a sect of the Republican Party and of the Christian religion that supports cruelty, that supports dehumanizing people.
But this is who you represent.
Of this. Many Americans right now.
Some of you people in the chat, this is what you like, right?
Do not want to mind their own business. And we have an.
What if this were you? What if this were fucking you? I would love to see that shit. I would love to see that shit in living color. You know what I would do? I would get popcorn. And Diet Pepsi, and I would just be sitting there looking at you motherfuckers getting dusted. Oh, I'm sorry. Was I ranting? My bad.
Article here from a Fox opinion writer, and this is wild. So it's not only that they're going after Somalis, Latin American looking people. This Fox News opinion writer, David Marcus, his article is deluded wine moms are committing deadly crimes, not simply protesting. And Fox News says, stop the madness. And they quote in his article, and he says, what we are seeing across the country is organized gangs of wine moms use Antifa tactics to harass and impede ICE agents. Is not civil disobedience. It isn't even protests. It's just crime, writes David Marcus. The widening of the scope by the propaganda arm of this regime to include, quote, wine moms is insane. But you guys have to pick up the breadcrumbs where they're putting them down. They are now demonizing everyday Americans, wine moms. The insinuation with that is liberal white women that look like me, that look like Angie. And so now they are widening the scope that anybody who stands up for human rights, who stands up for democracy, who exercises their First Amendment is some organized gang. The organized gang are all of the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers that have now burned their Don't Tread on Me flags and now work for the federal government so that they can rough up wine moms, so they can rough up Black people, so they can rough up Hispanic people, because they're severely broken, psychologically damaged, emotionally stunted, low T, pink arm maniacs that have found a home and refuge in this Nazi Christian nationalist movement.
Ooh.
Mayor of Minnesota is speaking out as to the overt racism in the.
She said Nazi. This is a communist country, by the way. I mean, that's what it is. She's delusional. Why is she delusional? Worry about the gangs of the government Worry about the gangs of the government, but not worry about the gangs on the street. What do the gangs ever do to you, partner? You must be white. And you're mentioning gangs. Gangs haven't been doing shit since the 90s and early 2000s. This is 2026. What are you talking about? This is 2026. What the fuck are you talking about? The gangs? What gangs? Tell me what gang has gone into your neighborhood and stole some shit out of your house, or has done bodily harm to you. What gang? And please do not say the damn it, I forgot what gang it was that came through here and took over the hotels in Oklahoma. Are you talking about the gangs, the people from Oklahoma? You talking about the gangs there? The Crips and the Bloods and the Side Street Kings when I lived in LA in the 90s. This dude is... So let me guess. Do you know what the purpose of what... Let me not talk about that, because this is going to confuse you even further. So what you are complaining about is something that's not happening right now, but what happened back then. Is that what you're talking about? Something that happened back then has no irrelevance as what's happening right now. Please elaborate even further what you're talking about. Like my mentor usually says, go deeper. No, but this is very interesting. This is very, very interesting. So you are complaining about Bloods and Crips from yesteryears? Did I hear? I'm not from LA. My aunt is, so she can tell me what's been going on in LA. I don't know. I haven't heard anything on the internet what's been happening in LA. I don't know. You going on yesteryears. In 2000s. On a park. It just maybe you didn't hear what I said. This conversation that you're having is interesting. It's very, very interesting. See, we like to pick and choose, whether it's if we're going back to the Obama era or we're going back to, what happened with Kamala, what happened with Bill Clinton. Y'all like to just pick and choose. Just pick and choose. Instead of just staying with the irrelevance of today. Y'all like to say, well, you say these things about Trump, but when Joe Biden's not in office. Joe Biden's not in office. Why do you care? Even though he has done some dumb shit, but this is even worse. This is way worse of what Joe Biden has done. Way worse. Yeah, I mean, he did have the LGBTQ HIV community in the White House lawn and giving them rights and everything. But that's nothing compared to what's going on right now. We can fix all that, and especially to my black peoples, we can fix all that How do we fix all that? Number one, organize. Number two, build your own schools. If the Asians can have 100% Asian schools, we can have 100% black schools. Point blank, period, end of discussion.
This regime, play the clip.
Let me give you another example. Just last week, a group of our city's public works employees were stopped by ICE agents. 3 of the 4 employees were not white. The ICE agents asked to see the IDs of the 3 non-white employees and didn't even bother to ask the white employee for the identification. Minneapolis is being targeted because we stand up for our neighbors and we welcome immigrants because we believe in the law. And as I said, frankly, because we are in a blue city, in a blue state.
Okay. There he points out exactly what this is about. This is not about immigration. This is about their white.
Hold on. I personally don't care. I don't pick and choose or care who's in the government. I care who does a good job. I vote and made a mistake. I'll admit it, and that's what it is. Dude, let me ask y'all a question. Are you a Charlie Kirk fan or something? Not bashing because I don't even I didn't even know who Charlie Kirk was. Personally, I just saw a couple of clips and I was like, well, okay, this is just another Richard Spencer. Just another Richard Spencer. Are we some Charlie Kirk fans up in here? Because you're sounding a little... People are sounding just a little bit like Charlie Kirk here. Gas prices. So we're focusing on gas prices. And no, I'm an independent. As I told you before, maybe you weren't listening. I didn't vote for neither one of these racist bastards. Because Donald Trump is prejudiced and fucking Biden is well, I wouldn't say way prejudiced, but they all sleep in the same fucking bed. But the one thing that baffles me about you people is that you're complaining about gas prices. No food, not the food, not education, which we should be giving these kids, not education, gas prices. Not health care, gas prices. Wow. Kirk was a loser. Oh, no. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Because you're going to get a whole bunch of Charlie Kirks here on my chat. I don't feel like dealing with a whole bunch of Charlie Kirks. It's no different from Nick Fuentes. It is no different from Nick Fuentes. I had a whole bunch of white people come up on my live stream talking shit about Nick Fuentes. I say, fuck Fuentes. If Nick Fuentes was in my presence, I would probably punch him in the fucking mouth. But Charlie Kirk, I never knew him. I don't even know who Charlie Kirk was. I just hate it. It's just like the people who keep coming in my chat talking about King Von. I didn't know who King Von was. I guess it was some rap artist from the South, some young blood. I don't know. I don't know who he was. I didn't know who Charlie Kirk was. But it doesn't take but a couple of clips to know that he is saying the same thing Richard Spencer said. Or what he was conflating. But he was the more popular one. They all come a dime a dozen. He was the popular one, but the one thing I will say fuck Charlie Kirk about is that you do not motherfucker come after our leaders. You do not come after our fucking leaders. You do not say that Martin Luther King did not deserve a holiday. You do not say that Martin Luther King did not deserve a statue. We judge that, not you. But other than that, I didn't know who the fuck Charlie Kirk was. And I wouldn't do what the shooter did. I wouldn't do that. I would rather, if I was that mad, I would spit in his face. But that's not the type of person that I am. I would actually debate him, to be perfectly honest with you. I would actually debate him, to be perfectly honest with you. Wouldn't you like to know?
Nationalist Nazi ideals for the United States of America. They have decided they don't like democracy. They have decided they want to be in your bedroom. They have decided they want to meddle and be toxic and have all of these broken and emotionally stunted pink arm goons go harass minorities. And they do all of this. A lot of these people will not shut up about how religious they are. And it's super important because the Democratic Party for a long time now has allowed these hypocritical, evil, evangelical, white evangelical Christians that belong to these mega churches, a part of the prosperity gospel. They have allowed us to unanswer and not respond to all of these claims of them having the moral high ground. The mask is off on their hypocrisy. The mask is obviously on because something in them knows it's wrong, but they want to do it with impunity. And here's what's fascinating about this whole thing. So you have all of these people that have rushed to support this regime, particularly billionaires, that don't have, financially, they could be like, fuck you, we're going to wait for the next president. We don't agree with your anti-democratic principles. We don't agree with beating up minorities. We don't agree with shooting people in the face with their dog in the back car. And so you have this billionaire, and I covered this yesterday, Bill Ackman. And Bill Ackman used to be a Democratic donor, and now he's all on to Trump because Trump will use anti-Semitism to shake down universities, to erode free speech in universities. So Bill Ackman has identified his Zionism as one of the driving forces of his political devolution. I can't call it an evolution because he's definitely devolved. Well, it turns out that murdering people in the United States is profitable now in Trump's America. And the GoFundMe for the murderer, the ICE murderer, this is what is in the description. So here it is. Ken Klippenstein reveals this. Fundraiser for Minnesota ICE shooter that's already raised $178,000. I think now it's past 600,000. Casually points out that the mayor is Jewish. And let me read this description in the GoFundMe. But this didn't happen in a vacuum. It's the direct result of anti-American traitors like Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, parentheses, who is Jewish, fanning the flames of resistance. Bill Ackman, the big Zionist donor, gives this murderer $10,000. And again, Kylie, put up this head.
So we're giving murderers money, huh? It's like I said, we're living in a third world country now. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, and I'm not shocked. I am not shocked because we had a whole bunch of white folks up in here feeling proud to be an American, which I often hear all the time. Which is what the fuck does that mean? I'm proud to be an American. So a person who was born and raised in America like myself, but doesn't have to act on American bullshit. I mean, I guess I have this moronic thing I do like everybody else does who thinks like me or thinks a little bit different from me, but have the same ideas as me. And if it's called thinking, right? And if I am not on the same gravy train, if I am not a cult, it's a problem. Hmm. But we're giving murderers money. That's okay because her family, Miss Good's family, got over $1 million. Over $1 million. But here's the problem with that. Keith Porter, another person who was a victim of ICE, got less than that. So again, we pick and choose. We get outraged over a white lady getting shot, but there's no outrage for a black man who was in a different position, but got shot by an off-duty ICE agent. Wow. Wow. Well, everybody's saying fuck ICE, which I do agree. I mean, they're no different from the police. I would say black folks got a lot of work to do. They had a lot of work to do in a short time to do it. Go vote, go vote, go vote, go vote, go vote. Early voting is right around the corner. Go vote, go vote, go vote. Make those seats turn blue. If you want change, make those damn seats go blue. Start voting for the right people. And you know what? I heard Kamala Harris. I said this before. Kamala Harris, if she is serious about going after the presidency again, I might just vote for her. I might just vote for her this time. I might just vote for her and I hope she wins. And if she does win, I want to see this. I want to see the look on your faces when she's getting voted in. If you say so. If you say so. Only problem is your skin's a little bit lighter than mine. And we don't think the same. We're never going to agree on anything. And that's cool. That's fine. It's called free will to think whatever you want. But you don't have the right to shoot an unarmed civilian that wanted to do nothing but go about her merry way. Instead, you shoot her in the head. I hope he gets federal charges, but He won't. Under this regime, under this administration, he'll be lucky to get a slap on the wrist. Because that's how evil Trump is. And for those who are baby boomers or Generation X's, you know how Trump operates. Trump is a very, very weird one. You know that? Trump is very, very weird. Did you hear what he said about his own daughter? But I guess that's okay with you, Hunt, because you promote rapists and all that other shit. I understand. I'm not the one. Diddy's not the one running the United States of America. Diddy is what slave owners would call good boys. And I didn't agree what he did to Cassidy, but then again, she got paid. So, and about that, I thought that was Trump's guy. I thought that was Trump's guy. I thought that was Trump's boy. But all of a sudden, we got amnesia now. We got amnesia. What did he do? I'll look into it. He would have gotten out just like that. That is sad. That is shameful. I mean, he pardoned 42 or 45 other people who need to be criminally charged and need to stay in jail, need to be executed. He pardoned somebody who was a known drug dealer, but gonna capture picking and choosing. Picking and choosing. Picking and fucking choosing. White folks are scared, boy. White folks are real scared. Well, what's to say if we start another No Kings protest? I want that to restart again. I really want that to restart again. And this time, I want people to raise their middle fingers up at Trump. I want them to raise their middle fingers. And raise their middle fingers up at the Trump Towers, which he don't even own. The motherfucker don't even own the goddamn the Trump hotels. He made very, very bad deals in New York. He has mobsters that are looking for him, but the mobsters can't touch him. They can't touch him because number one, he has immunity. Number two, he's the president. Not my president, maybe y'all's, but not mine. Just love picking and choosing. Oh boy. Well, anyway.
Line here. GoFundMe, other online campaigns raising big money for ICE agent who killed Renee Good. A GoFundMe official said the fundraising effort is under review for its compliance with company policy. So let's just break this down. The mayor of Minneapolis is a Jewish man who is standing up for civil liberties. He's standing up for his citizens. He's standing up for humanity. He's standing up for democracy. These white, anti-Semitic, Nazi maniacs don't like him because he's calling them out. billionaires, and I think even Megyn Kelly, have now gone on and rewarded murder on this GoFundMe page when the GoFundMe page was written by an anti-Semite, full-blown Jew hater. And so the hypocrisy even within this movement is so stunning. It is so breathtaking how some people just, as long as we hate 7 out of the 10 of the same people, I'll be, a part of your gang. It's really repulsive. So it's important to point out that billionaires like Bill Ackman is supporting anti-Semitism. His $10,000 donation made Jews worldwide less safe because in that GoFundMe page is full-blown anti-Semitism. And that's the fool's errand of so many people who are seeking protection in the Trump regime. They think these diabolical, no respect for life, no respect for children, and MAGA is a pro-death cult, an anti-family cult, the cult of crime and disorder. They think somehow they're going to be safe by kissing ass to these anti-Semites, to these absolute homophobic bigots. And all they do is they show themselves as
not
being every
homophobic
bit as
bigots.
hypocritical as the evangelical movement that is at the epicenter of this MAGA regime. And after we see all of this horrible abuse, egregious human rights violations on the streets of Minneapolis, something that should never be normal to Americans, something that when we learned about in school, when we learned about other countries using police forces to terrorize their citizens, to go door to door, when we learned about the Gestapo doing this, we were horrified, but also at the same time thought, gosh, how lucky we are to live in America. Minnesotans do not have that luck anymore. They cannot have that gratitude because they are living it, because the vice president of the United States says they're going to start going door to door. And guess what they've been doing? They've been going door to door. That's why Anne Frank had to hide in an attic, because the Gestapo was going door to door.
Oh no, not Anne
The
Frank.
mask is completely off about their Nazi intentions. Pop this up, Kylie. We have Kristi Noem with a full embrace of Nazi propaganda. One of ours, all of yours, was a Nazi policy made when an SS officer was killed in a Czech village, and then the Nazis killed every single resident of that village in response. And Wu-Tang is for Children said, but don't you dare call them Nazis. So they are now escalating. More ICE agents put their masks on. But the people who run the federal government, their masks are completely off. And they want to tell you, Fox News wants to write an opinion piece that American wine moms are somehow the problem in the United States, when you have Kristi Noem and other institutions in the United States government embracing Nazi propaganda. And that's not an accident. That's not like, oh, we just kind of said the same thing as the Nazis. It is intentional. These guys have been doing this since they campaigned. All of this is in Project 2025. They have deemed democracy incompatible with their desires to create a white, evangelical, Christian nationalist state. And to me.
Oh, I love it when white people tell the truth.
The question asked is, do you think the ICE agent was justified or not justified in the amount of force he used in shooting the woman in Minneapolis? 53% of Americans said not justified. Justified, 28%. Those who say justified, 61% of Republicans think that killing, that murder, that execution is justified. And let me tell you why they think it's justified. The Republican Party is inherently homophobic. They are 100% fine that that lady was murdered because she's gay. They are 100% fine with it.
Wait, wait. She was gay? I thought she was married. Oh, that was my bad. That was her ex-husband that she sent the kids. She sent the kids to her ex-husband or whatever. She's gay? So you shot her not because she backed out of the driveway and she was talking to an ICE agent and the ICE agent said, fuck you, bitch. And she pulled off and got shot in the. She got shot in the head simply because she was gay? Wow. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Picking and choosing, like I said. Gay has nothing to do with it. And whatever the officer did had nothing to do with that. His actions were not justified because, like anybody else, if a cop gets ran over, they will find that person. That cop did not get ran over. Cop did not get ran over. If he did get ran over, that was his own damn fault. Rule states that a police officer, security officer is not supposed to be in the front of the back of the vehicle. And if they get ran over, that's their own damn fault. Again, picking and choosing. I didn't know she was gay.
They deem anybody who is not a white evangelical, such as themselves, as less human than they are. There has been, long before MAGA, a decades-long propaganda campaign in communities to insert institutionalized homophobia in it. I, in Oklahoma, waved my hands as much as I could, trying to bring this point to voters, hosting fundraisers for Democratic candidates. But the fix is in so many parts of America, and all of the LGBTQ plus people that are watching this, that have grown up in red states or red areas, they know this intimately. They know how homophobia is something that people just get an excuse for. It's like, oh, well, she's a pretty good person, but yeah, there is all this homophobia there. It is something that lesbian, gay, and queer Americans live with all the time, that they have to reduce their queerness or they have to reduce their gayness around certain people because they know that person is a homophobe. And I am adamant, and I have been my whole life, that all of these human rights are linked. You cannot pick on gay people. You cannot pick on Jewish people. You cannot pick on minorities and keep everybody else safe. It doesn't work that way. This woman, Renee Good, that was killed, murdered, executed by the federal government of the United States of America, is now being called a terrorist. And 48 hours later, Fox News Opinion rolls out the new threat to America. Wine moms? Do you see how they move the goalposts? And maybe you don't understand all of the human rights of everybody, but this is something that in white evangelical circles has become very, very normalized long before Trump. The dehumanizing of other human beings and the giggling about it and the laughing about it and the bonding in white culture about this is something that is so stomach turning to me. And that's why 60% of a major political party in this country, in this democracy of 250 years, support Nazi-style executions of a lady who had a smile on her face and said, hey, bro, I'm not mad at you. Her dog's in the back seat. She's turning away from these people, these Nazis, these ICE agents, to just go about her business and she gets shot in the face. This can never be normalized, and we will never be on the same side of these rabid, hypocritical, disgusting white MAGA people. It is a horrific, horrific Nazi-style movement. I don't know about you guys, but now that the holidays are over, I always have like this spending hangover.
We begin today's show looking at growing resistance to the Trump administration's mass immigration raids and federal agents escalating violence nationwide. Protests are continuing over ICE agent Jonathan Ross's fatal shooting of 37-year-old mother of three, poet Renee Good, in Minneapolis last week. On Monday, dozens of federal agents wearing tactical gear and masks fired pepper balls and tear gas at a crowd of protesters in Minneapolis who shouted, "Shame, shame, shame," and "Get the F out" at the agents. This comes as the state of Minnesota has sued the Trump administration in an effort to block the crackdown and the surge of agents coming into the state. The cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul are also part of the lawsuit. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison announced the legal challenge Monday as Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem vowed to deploy hundreds more agents this week.
Deployment of thousands of armed, masked DHS agents to Minnesota.
Oh, we already. Oh.
Against his car. The back of it was smashed in. He said an ICE agent bashed in his car. This all comes as activists in Los Angeles are demanding justice for Keith Porter Jr., an African-American 43-year-old father of two who was fatally shot by an off-duty ICE agent on New Year's Eve. His family's urging transparency in the investigation into his killing. Porter's mother, Franciola Armstrong, spoke at a vigil this weekend.
From day one that he was born, I knew he was my joy. When he came around, people looked for him. He was a joy to be around. My son, the biggest heart, sympathetic, appreciative, so much gratitude.
On Keith Porter Jr.'s fatal shooting New Year's Eve, we're joined by two guests. In Compton, California, Janae Tyler is the cousin of Keith Porter Jr. She is the parent and family organizer for Students Deserve, and she's a Black Lives Matter Los Angeles member. And in Los Angeles, we're joined by Melina Abdullah, co-founder of Black Lives Matter Los Angeles. She organizes globally with Black Lives Matter Grassroots, also a professor of Pan-African Studies at California State University, Los Angeles. We welcome you both to Democracy Now! Melina Abdullah, let's begin with you. What do you understand happened on New Year's Eve when Porter was killed by an off-duty ICE officer with his ICE weapon?
Yes, thanks for covering this, Amy. It's really important to understand that as people are righteously and rightfully enraged and mourning the murder of Renee Good, that we also lift up Keith Porter Jr. Keith Porter Jr. was a 43-year-old Black father of two girls. On New Year's Eve, he was celebrating at his own home, and like thousands around the country, we understand that he may have stepped outside of his home and fired a celebratory shot in the air, which many, many people do and which is widely acknowledged by
A 20-year-old and a 10-year-old. Where's your bleeding heart for them?
city officials. His apartment complex is fairly large, and an ICE agent lived in that complex who went inside, put on his tactical gear, came back outside, and shot Keith Porter dead in front of his own home.
Wait. Off-duty ICE agent goes into his house, puts on his tactical gear, comes out to the same spot, shoots Keith Porter. and you're celebrating this? Interesting. Very, very interesting. It's like, I don't care what you say. You're a bunch of Nazis. You're a bunch of Nazis, sadists. It just all the type of things I can think of right now. But for YouTube purposes, I'll just keep to myself. But overall, you people are scum. Those who want to declare war on the United States because of some damn immigrants coming into the country illegally, even though it says in the 14th Amendment you have every right to due process. Y'all make me sick. Matter of fact, go fuck yourselves. Just straight go fuck yourselves.